بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Right. Can I use inhalers for asthma during fasting? Right, well, who's asthmatic here? I think someone's just passed away, unfortunately. Okay. Asthmatic pumps don't work well for dyslexia, I'm afraid. If you're using them for somebody in the class is dyslexic, that's why. Right, well, okay, asthmatic pumps in general, they have a combination usually of three things. They'll have some chemicals in them, oxygen and water. Now, what kind of, usually it sprays out in one burst. It will give usually what is technically less than 1 milliliter of a kind of a burst of gas, or whether it's going to be kind of liquidated gas or whatever. I mean, it's got some moisturized gas, if you like, a better, because it's got some moisture to it. But that moisture isn't much. It's less than 1 milliliter in a spray of that. Now, the question is this permissible? The chemicals per se are not food. Okay, oxygen, there is no harm in oxygen. I mean, you're breathing oxygen all the time, unless we go this, but there's, the only thing that breaks it is the oxygen. The only thing that breaks the fast is the oxygen. Everything else is fine. So, on this ruling, many ulama who have, really people of this day and age that have looked with, well-grounded ulama, people like Sheikh Muhammad Hassan ad-Didu, the great Shanqiti scholar, and several others from other institutes all around the world, really, Al-Azhar and many other places right around the world, have answered that the asthmatic pump does not violate the fast. It is fine. You can use that whilst fasting. There's no problem in that. What's also interesting is people may say, well, and I know some people have questioned that, and I think especially in parts of the world like the Indo-Pak part of the world, it is seen as problematic. And I believe Mufti Taqi has given a fatwa that it does break the fast. And they feel that the part of it containing water, moisture, is what breaks the fast. The thing is, in all honesty, when we look at things, you see, when we say that people can rinse out their mouths during, you can do madmada during during the fast to cool down. There's nothing wrong in that. To the extent that people say you can even taste food, it doesn't break the fast. That's from a Hanafi perspective. If you were rinsing your mouth, let's say several times with water, the chances of less than a milliliter of water being absorbed into are quite likely. I mean, that's not something so far-fetched. If there's no harm in rinsing your mouth and you've now put water in your mouth, there's a great chance, okay, you've spat it out, but there will still be moisture in your mouth. You've rinsed it out. The chance that at least one tiny milliliter of that mixes with your saliva and gets swallowed is very likely. There's nothing, so problematic about that, really. I mean, none of the ulama would object to that. They wouldn't say that that violates your fast or anything like this. The Malikiya go to much more, they're much more open than that. They say if you swallowed ibtila'u ma bayn al-asnan, if you swallow what was stuck between the teeth, remnants of food. So Ibn Yunus in his Jami' transmits from Ibn Habib and Sahnun and people like that of the Maliki madhab who say if you swallow something even the size of a pea, P as in PEA. Just saying, right, for anybody spelling difficulties. Right. So the thing is that if you swallow something the size of a pea, that was the remnants of food, something remaining from food stuck between your teeth, and it is food, it's actual food. You swallow that. Ibn Habib says, La shay alayhi. He says, Sahwan, O amdan, ilman, O jahlan. Whether you do that intentionally or unintentionally, whether you did it based on knowledge or ignorance. La shay alayhi. Nothing, there's no issue in that. So, and they say that's because, it doesn't make a difference. These kind of small things are not, and that's a very liberal, people may use that as, like, they may see that, I don't like using the words liberal, but people would see that as a very open, like, whoa, as a very relaxed fatwa almost. And that's with actual food, let alone moisture. I mean, you have certain narrations of things like, if somebody was to say, well, this is a foreign element, it's not like when I said, but water was a good example that I gave with mixing with the saliva. Things like even food having the taste. All of these things show that some tiny substances of things which are not really food and which are based on medical grounds, to say that they invalidate or violate the fast is really, I feel, an obsessive kind of attitude towards the deen. It's not the natural kind of attitude that you have. It wouldn't really make much sense. And the deen, as I said, inna khayra dinikum aysaruh, that the best of your deen is that which is of most ease. So with that, it's absolutely fine to use the asthmatic pump.